Perdue Farms is pushing back on WUSA 9's reporting on an environmental crisis unfolding in neighborhoods near the company's landmark agribusiness plant in Salisbury, Maryland.
Yeah, the company says residents' suspicions that medical problems may be related to the contamination of more than 350 nearby wells can, quote, mislead viewers and amplify fears.
Yeah, some residents, they have signed on to a class action lawsuit. Here's our environmental impact reporter, Scott Broom, with more.
Tuesday, I introduced you to 45-year-old Rachel Chaney of Salisbury, Maryland.
All of our houses had some kind of contamination.
Whose wells are contaminated with the so-called Forever Chemical PFAS.
I reported Tuesday new data from Perdue showing at least 356 residential wells have proven to be contaminated with PFAS at levels above the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's threshold.
The wells are near Perdue Farms' landmark agribusiness center on Zion Church Road in Salisbury, where state regulators have declared that Perdue is responsible for PFAS contamination getting into the groundwater used by hundreds of nearby homes.
These are all my meds I take on a daily basis.
Chaney is a cancer survivor, suffering from numerous other autoimmune disorders that date back decades. Her illnesses are a medical mystery, but she suspects the Perdue pollution may be to blame. Chaney has joined a federal class action lawsuit accusing Perdue of failing to notify the public quickly enough, along with ruining property values and causing illnesses. In the wake of our reporting, I was contacted by Perdue, which sent this statement pushing back on my coverage. Quote, "We had concerns about the strong statements from a resident linking her health issues dating back to 2009 to PFAS. PFAS wasn't detected in groundwater near our facility until 2023. While we take health concerns seriously, attributing illness to PFAS exposure without scientific or medical confirmation can mislead viewers and amplify fear in the community." WUSA 9 stands by our reporting. Here's why. Our sources are previous interviews with Perdue and Rachel Chaney, statements from the Maryland Department of Environment, and an outside environmental engineering report commissioned by Perdue that is now a record in the class action suit. Chaney says her illnesses, including cancer, date back to 2009. Perdue says the source of the pollution is likely to be a spill of firefighting foam containing PFAS that happened in 2019, 10 years after Chaney's bout with cancer. But the Maryland Department of Environment and the independent engineering report say other potential contributors to the groundwater pollution could include spray irrigation fields, stockpiled soils, and effluent from the plant's wastewater treatment system. In the case of wastewater, it's been used as irrigation on parts of the property since 1989, according to the engineering report, 20 years before Chaney's cancer. Wells in those areas have tested positive for PFAS, the engineering report says. Phil Federico, an attorney in the class action case, told WUSA 9, quote, "We think this dates back to 1989, which explains why the plume is so large and the concentration levels are so high." Perdue has asked a U.S. District Court judge to throw out this suit. In a court filing, the company accuses Chaney's lawyers of, quote, abject failure to put forth the basic facts necessary to demonstrate injury and causation while rushing into court without facts. Federico responded saying, quote, "We moved as soon as possible to put an end to the ongoing contamination. A judge is reviewing additional evidence before deciding on whether to dismiss the case." In the meantime, Perdue has been urgently responding to the crisis by providing expensive advanced filtration systems for all homes that have been found with contaminated wells that exceed the EPA threshold. The company is providing bottled water and has launched a website to inform the community. MDE reports the agency is overseeing more scientific work to identify a source and contain or clean up the pollution as quickly as possible. No timeline for that has been announced. Scott Broom, WUSA 9.